God level, you can tell him I said it. Level up. God level, you can tell him I said it. Level up. God level, you can tell him I said it. Level up, level up, level up. Yo. Everything that means everything. Eyes connected to everything, and that's why I'm in everything. All eyes on me, all eyes on everything. That means everything. Eyes connected to everything.
I want to thank everyone for jumping in on tonight's live. This is Things That People Don't Want to Talk About. Brought to you by God Level. That will be me. I am originally from St. Louis, Missouri. Shout out to my city right now. Oh my God. We will get into that in just a second. I'm a mother. I'm a nurse. I'm an entrepreneur. I have this podcast. I'm a sister. I'm a friend. I'm an aunt. I'm a Gigi. I am everything good. John, you want to go ahead and represent yourself?
John Skywalker, the Sly Talker here. I'm a lyricist, spoken word artist, martial artist, personal trainer, lover of life, student of psychology, and I'm a husband who has 5 hip-hop albums available on all major DSPs right now. 5. Look up John Skywalker. Look up John Skywalker. Look up John
King Newborn, you want to go ahead and represent yourself?
Peace. This is King Newborn. You can follow me on all social media platforms, and I would like to welcome everyone to tonight's podcast. Peace, love, and light.
That's what's up. Sherman, represent.
My name is Sherman Vaughn. I am very excited episode. I'm here to listen, I'm here to learn, and I'm here to love. That's all I got.
All right. Whew. May 16th. Tornado came through St. Louis.
Oh.
How y'all holding up down there?
Yeah.
Before we get started, before we go into the topic, because we have 3 people on here that is from St. Louis. Me, Sherman, and King Newborn. I just couldn't sit. It didn't sit well with me not being able to say or not say anything about what's going on back home. Yeah. How y'all doing down there, Sharon?
Great.
He froze.
Friends. Oh, I froze?
Okay, you did. Go ahead.
Am I back? Okay.
You're
good. Took a lot of the roofs off of some of my friends' houses, but me and mine were pretty unaffected. So
that's what's up.
A lot of cleaning up, a lot of helping, a lot of tired, but it's all for the greater.
Yeah, I see St. Louis as being its own hero right now.
And it's surprising, actually. It really is. I didn't know it was this much love here.
Yeah, even though it can be dangerous to see the city come out, everyone helping everyone is amazing. I've been seeing the posts and I'm like, oh wow, that's what's up. That's what's up.
Can bring people together.
Yeah. All right. Well, I just want to send my love, positive energy, and fast rebuild, relocate, whatever you choose to do. Man, does anybody have anything they want to add before we go ahead and get started tonight? All right. Let's jump into tonight's topic. What do you mean when you say you're depressed? Whew. Can I go first?
Yes, please.
I'm tired. I don't want to be bothered. Looking back on when I realized I was depressed, this was when I was in Houston. I wore a very, very good mask because I would still go to work, but I noticed I would take longer to get there. And then be the first one out. I noticed when we did our podcast, after we did our podcast, honey, I would watch this makeup off so quick and go jump in the bed, turn off the lights, covered, TV zone gone. So yeah, the energy to do anything wasn't there. I tried to explain it to my therapist at one point. It's like a feeling it's like a pain you really can't describe.
Mhm.
And you're just, just like, I'm just ready to hit the clock. Like, stop this shit. I'm done. I'm ready to go. So yeah, that was me. That was me. Oh God. And if
Anybody
it wasn't
else?
for these fellas, I would probably still be there. That was if it wasn't for my tribe, I would still be there. I remember that phone call. I remember, and John was like, "What do you need?" Like, damn. I have some people. I am loved. Do you hear
Yeah.
me? I
Mm.
am loved.
Yeah,
Woo. I am loved. All right, that's it for me. I'm gonna take a back seat. Go ahead.
Well, we posted this question in our group, and I'm going to read some of the comments from this question.
Okay.
It feels helpless and it's exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
Renee said numb. Natasha said it feels like anxiety. Jessica says numbing, like not a single person around you gets what you feel. It's just expected of you to keep doing life like everyone else. Lost. Yeah, says like you're stuck in an invisible glass encasing, missing out on the world and all of its glories. John Hazelwood said, that's ADHD John. Feels like being in a white room, an infinite void with no answers for clarity, like screaming for help underwater. Oof, yeah. Latasha says, numb. I used to feel nothing, feeling of being lost. Jeff says, it feels like always wanting to take a nap, but never being able to sleep. Wow.
Oof.
It feels like being uncomfortable. Oh, it feels like being comfortable with being uncomfortable. It feels like not knowing what to do, but not feeling moved or motivated.
Yes.
It feels like loneliness, even if you're not alone. It
Yeah.
feels like the what without a why.
Mm-hmm.
Juju says it's heavy.
Very.
And I said, depending on the severity, sometimes it could feel like the color gray.
Yeah.
It feels
Everything
like a
is gray.
heavy emptiness. It's a different type of gravity. It's more than just pressure. For me, it starts in the head and it slowly descends into the rest of my body like a slow paralysis. So it feels like nothing and something at the same time. Sometimes it can feel like everyone exists except you. It feels like a touch from death. Sometimes it's a kiss. Sometimes it's this smothering hug and it's hard to breathe. It feels like you're stuck while running in place. And because so many of us don't know how to respond to depression, it doesn't feel like I'm allowed to have it.
Thank you to everyone who dropped a comment. Thank you to everyone who responded. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And don't forget, please go over to God Level 102 and subscribe to our channel. We will be leaving Facebook sometime this year. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Wasn't that powerful?
Very.
I would have loved to put all those words on a can. I would have loved that.
And this is how they were feeling. This is
Yeah.
how they described it. Oh my God.
And you know what's very interesting about all this too is you have to go through it and muster up the energy to remember it and capture it. You know, like this is me reliving, those memories, like, yeah, this is what it felt like. And I had just enough energy to really just remember, like, oh my gosh, what is going on? Okay. Ooh, this is painful. This is hellish. And it's like you went through hell, came back, and you got a story to tell about it, you know? So that's like the interesting part about this is everyone's had that experience here. and they lived to tell about it.
Oh
Because
yeah.
some don't
Some don't make it.
live, to tell
Some
about it.
do not, making that depression spirals into suicidal ideation, suicidal thoughts, and even an attempt. Yeah, I didn't get my gun back for a very long time.
Mm.
Yeah. So that it is real. It is real. And the way that they described it, I hope they said it. And they're still here and they're able to describe it. That lets me know they beat it, they conquered it. They are still here. And even if they are still dealing with it, I hope they're sitting down and talking to someone. You gotta unpack that shit. Excuse my language. You gotta unpack it. Do not carry that with you. It is like baggage.
However, I will say, if they're here to tell about this, it's until the next battle. It's a war. They just won that battle. All right. So, many salutes to y'all that are still fighting those battles,
Yes.
because it is about strategy. It's a war on yourself, right? And it's depression has a self-destructive nature. And so this is you at war with yourself. And you're trying to figure out how to put that beast, that self-destructive beast, to peace. Chill. Right? You're living with it, though. That's the crazy. You're living with it.
Yeah.
So it's like some of us are fighting it and others are just trying to live with it.
Yeah.
Who's really trying to conquer it? Can it be conquered? Can it be conquered?
Yeah. Yes.
We gotta see those success stories, like who beat depression out there, right? We gotta see those examples. But real quick, let's kind of put this in the air. How can you tell the difference between a rough patch and a full-blown depression? So this is just to make the flavor a little bit more distinct, because you can have an episode, right? But depression is more lingering. It's a mood, and it's a very enduring experience. We're talking about being in the sunken place. Time has slowed down, okay? It's not a quick dip in and up. Okay, that was a nice swim. You fell out the boat and you don't know how to swim. And you're just waiting for that lifeline. And it could be weeks, it could be months.
Yeah.
So that's what we're trying to do, is figure out, how do I know if I'm going through it? How do I know if this is it? What's the difference between a rough patch and this full-blown depression? Anybody want to take a shot?
When you sleep at night.
Okay, talk more about that.
When you
sleep
at night, or you sleeping all the time and still getting up tired.
Ooh, okay.
You feel like, damn, I got 8 hours and still, motivated to even get up. Like, are you just having those moments where you're just sitting in silence, trying to get up the motivation just to do the things that you would normally do? Are you cleaning? Sometimes you stop doing things around the house. Are you bathing? I bathe too much. So it was like I was just taking showers. I don't know. I just felt like I literally felt like I could just wash it off. Then get back in the bed, cry some more, and then go back and do it all over again. So yeah, that's a rough patch. I'm not here to pay Paul, but full-blown depression is, if I don't get to work, I ain't gonna have no money to pay Peter or Paul.
Ooh, okay. So the decisions you gotta make.
Decisions, yeah.
What you got, King? You got anything for us?
I can't say I had full-blown depression. Maybe definitely a thick rough patch. Yeah, I'm gonna say definitely a thick rough patch. But a lot of this is new information to me. Even when we talked about this last year, just to even look back and be like, how we go over symptoms and stuff that you probably go through. If you want
Well,
to
you
put a
know what though,
podcast,
bro? But there's something to that experience that you still have there with it. You say it confidently, right? Like, hey, I know I've been through this thick, rough patch. What gives you, like, what frame of mind are you in to think like that? Like, explain how you say, explain how you know, I guess. Explain how you know about, like, you can trust this is just a rough patch.
that's what I'm saying. If you want to put a podcast, I would never. It wouldn't even been a conversation for me. You understand what I'm saying? So I mean, it wouldn't. It was new information for me, and then you look back like, dang, oh, okay, well then, I'm going to assume that's what I was going through, which is for me. I was like, oh well, maybe I was depressed. Definitely a rough patch. But
all right. Differences, right? Time. Rough patch. You feel like shit, but there's still some hope.
Yeah.
This sucks, but I'm gonna get through this.
Yeah.
But full-blown depression, it's not just a phase. It's the hopelessness sticks. Weeks go by, months go by. You start believing that's who you are now. It's the emotional range you have, right? When you have a rough patch, you can still feel anger. You can still feel sadness, anxiety, moments of joy if it's a rough patch. Depression is more of an emotional flat line. The numbness is just, things you used to love, yeah. And it usually gives you a dopamine hit. Yo, you want to play the game? Yo, you want some head? Yo, right? It could be physical, believe it or not. It could be physical. Rough patch. Stress might mess with like your appetite, your sleep, but you bounce back, right? It's very, again, it kind of ties into the time. It's very temporary, but when it's depression, your body just betrays you, man. Like you it just does everything against you. You have no control. It's like the whole thing's
yeah.
And then sometimes it's like you're starving or you're binge eating.
Or not, just don't want anything. Yeah.
Energy. What energy? The energy.
Yeah.
Right? And then it's your perception. When you're going through a rough patch, you might think something like, I'm struggling, but I'm still me. Depression, that voice in your head turns into, I'm a burden, I'm worthless, things will never change. The pessimism is so thick. You don't see a way out, So I think what's important here is making the distinction, because you can think that you're in a rough patch and you're really in full-blown depression. You keep delaying that feeling naturally. You're just like, oh, I'm just going through a rough patch. I'm just going through and again, you got a purpose. When you're in your purpose, you feel energized, right? But sometimes that energy is not really there. You just want it there. And so you'll trick your mind into this delusion that it's there because you want it so bad. You love this place. You love it so much that you'll pretend that you're there even though you're not. So it's really important to identify that little distinction so that if it's full blown, you start exercising some strategy to recover. Because I mean, it could snowball. Like there's early detection, but the main thing with that, the problem with that is, are we sensitive? Are we actually sensitive to ourselves? Especially Black people. You gotta be strong. Can't shake me. Can't break who? No, I will fight. You good? You good, King? I got it. I'm good. Ain't nothing. Just pulling a little dirt off the shoulder. I bounce back, baby. I bounce back. Huh? They can't shake. You good though, bro? For real.
Right.
For real.
Right.
So, what are some causes, influences of depression?
Betrayal.
Ooh. Okay.
Betrayal. I don't want to go into all of it, but just that alone, betrayal. Yeah.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Well, this is new for me. This is new. So I'm learning a lot from everything that was said.
That's what's up.
Because John was right. I don't causes and influences of depression. I see everything negative, everything that you're not supposed to be doing. But I tend to puzzle my rough patches together, and I see the time it took me to get out of those. When I knew it was depression is when I did not have an answer. Everything looked dark. I didn't look towards the future because usually I can see past my rough patches. But it seems I've only been depression has only hit me not too many times at all. But rough patches, yes. But causes and influences, just not doing the right thing. What's the right thing? Not talking right, not speaking right. Not putting the right energy out. Because you get old enough to understand what's right and wrong.
That part.
You always
all right, so out of balance with your morality. Okay.
Just out of balance with everything.
Okay, your values. Okay.
You're energized because you now want something. You now want your purpose. You're now looking for this. You're now looking for that. But when you're not, you should know too. But yeah, I'm learning.
Okay, King.
I'm in the bandwagon with Sherman.
All right.
Reason why I say that is because even when I look back on it again, I didn't associate none of this to anything that I was going through. Nothing that we say I never associated with any of it, So it was a new book for me to learn or read, rather. Causes or influences of rough patches. I'm just gonna point to for self. For me, I'm gonna say development of the frontal lobe and being a little bit more precise with decision making, and not letting my decision be made based off of what you say, Sherman and Skywalker. Distractions and dopamine, Or so trying to mask the emotion, not even knowing that I was masking the emotion, trying to escape. Like shit, no matter what, you still got to deal with it. Still right here, it ain't going nowhere. So, like
all right,
just
learn it.
You breaking up, Sherman. They told me to move the phone. I moved to
Am I
Chrome.
straight?
You good now?
Okay. This is quick. I want to sum this up fast. The only reason I never really looked at depression, never really saw it, or never could associate myself with it, is because I never thought I was going to lose. Self-inflated ego,
Damn.
I guess. But I always thought if I was breathing, I can still win. And I know myself. I'll never give up.
Optimism. Okay. Yeah. Optimism.
Yeah.
All right. So there's a consciousness there, right? But brain and chemistry, right? Biological chemistry, the brain. I want you guys to think genetics. You know, if your family has a history of depression, your brain might be wired for it. Thanks, DNA, right? Brain glitches, you know, we're talking about low serotonin, dopamine crashes, inflammation. Your neurotransmitters can sabotage you. Hormones, right? So pregnancies, menopause, if you have thyroid issues, your body's chemistry influences your mood heavy. We can't forget about that, right? Renee mentioned betrayal. So yeah, psychological trauma. So things like death, divorce. Some pain just doesn't like heal right away, you know. Chronic stress, you know, living in that fight or flight mode. We're talking about work, poverty, caregiving. Stress until, you know, it exhausts your mind and it breaks. Racism, oppression, that poverty trap, right? Like, you have to choose between rent and medication, or food and therapy.
Man.
Right? Broke isn't just, it's not just about being stressful, you know, it's fuel for depression. And then there's the loneliness epidemic, you know, you got these dang on phones, you know, everybody's feeling disconnected, you know, not a whole lot of intimacy and closeness, authenticity. And then, you know, you think cultures, you know, we got the hustle culture, work, gotta get it, get the bag. You know, it's glorified self-destruction, work until you know, I can rest when I'm dead. I can rest, you know?
Yeah.
And then you got to think, you know, it's age related too. You know, you got the hopeless futures out there, you know, these young folks that are looking at the climate and they're like, these old heads, stupid as fuck. Like, they think they know everything and they're killing the planet. Like, how are you going to kill the place that you live in? Like, why are you destroying the place why can't you just make this, like, we got to inherit your problem? You know, they don't feel enthusiastic about inheriting the earth from us. You know, and then there's unaffordable homes, you know, this wage slavery we got going on, you know. They come into this world looking around like, what did you guys do to the place? You know, and then throw in some substance abuse, not substance use, substance abuse, you know, the food addiction, the alcohol, the drugs, you know. Yeah. All of it's medication. It's just self-medication, you know, sleep deprivation. Depression is caused by a medley of things, you know. The causes multiply each other, and, you know, poverty even more so limits your treatment options. You know, we ain't just saying poverty from just the environmental level. This poverty. Poor mind ain't gonna help itself, is it?
That part. Yeah.
Because, I mean, at least a rich person's mind would know to go seek help somewhere, you know, to figure out, oh, I'm resourceful. I mean, I have it now, but I know how to get it. So I'm resourceful. I can go get, that's a mentality, resourcefulness. And so poverty-stricken folks are not that creative. We're innovative, creative. But resourceful, That means access.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you can recognize depression in others? Now that's the magic question right there. What does it look like?
Oh my
Oh, Jesus.
God.
And consider what's our most common form of communication.
Oh.
So how are you gonna know anyways, right? How are you gonna know anyways?
Yeah, because you could
So
pretend to be anybody behind a text message. Oh yeah, I'm good. I'm cool. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, it would depend on how you're communicating with that person.
And then we got rules too, because a lot of us are introverts, right? So it's got to be invitation, like, hey, don't just be pulling up on me.
Yes, sir.
Don't just be pulling up on me, man. No, I got some office hours. Here you are, you in the bed drowning, but nobody can come pull up on you though. But you're in the bed drowning.
Mm-hmm.
Self-sabotage much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard unless you actually are seeing this person on a regular, like seeing them, to be able to say, okay, something is off. It takes me back to the guy that called in, and he was like, I seen the change, but I didn't do anything about it. So there's gonna be some change. Shit. Whew.
Typically when we recognize it, I will say for me, I recognize it the most on social media, believe it or not. Right? And because that's where most of my reach is. As far as like my physical social life, it is this big. Okay. I know a lot of people around here, but it is I only move in certain places. I like my house. I like my space. It's an awesome space.
Say that.
Right? But it's usually social media. And this really touches my heart. I pay attention to stuff like that because I just wonder, what's the response when someone is just blatantly crying for help on social media? Like they put it in big ass letters so you can see it. What do? You're scrolling, do you stop and go to the inbox or do you keep scrolling?
I have.
Right?
I have.
This might be
my number and sent my number. I'm here. I am here. Yeah. But
it's just the question. It's a big ass question too. Like, are you even equipped to handle a problem like that? So a lot of people are going to scroll not because they don't want to help, but because they feel the incompetence before the opportunity even comes up. So it's one of those, don't show me that. I already know I can't do anything about that. So they don't even know what it looks like anymore because they hide themselves from the opportunity to do anything about it.
Yeah. I have talked to a lot of strangers. Sometimes people can talk better to a stranger, someone that doesn't know them. And it gives them the opportunity to unload. Get it off your chest. I see it all the time. Unburden yourself. Do not leave here. Do not leave this world with all the burdens of what has happened to you. Unload. So on my TikTok, I've talked to people in Minnesota, New York, California. I will literally send them my number. They'll respond to something that I post, and I'm going through the same thing. I'm feeling like this. I don't do long text messages. Here's my number. I'm available. If you just want to talk and just get it off your chest. And then I could say, have you thought about therapy? Let them unload first. Let them get it off. I'm a stranger. They don't know me. I don't know them.
But that's a magical ingredient because what it signals is non-judgment. It's like your expectations are low. know each other. So
Yeah.
what are our expectations really? Like we have a very baseline, a very base
Yeah.
of expectation. Hey, just come correct, come respectfully.
Yeah.
It's like it's that
Yeah.
simple, right? And so
Mhm.
I think that's the allure and the simplicity of it. It's
Yeah.
almost like, how the Catholics do it, where you kind of confession,
Yeah.
and it's almost like there's a level of anonymity. It's a slight level, right?
Mhm.
You also trust that it's like, okay, what can you really do with this information? You're a stranger. We
Nothing.
don't know each, right?
There is
So,
nothing I can do with that information. I just want to give you a moment to unload. I've learned to not allow other people's, and I got this from you, John, because sometimes I used to call John and unload, and I'm like, I hope I'm not doing too much. I hope this doesn't bother you. He'd be like, no, not at all. He's able to turn it off. So I know how to turn it off to where I'm not affected, but I'm still giving you the space, the
mm,
room to get it all off your chest. And then we can go from there if you're open to suggestions on what to do next. And generally, if it's relationship, I always tell them a woman can't tell another woman when to leave her man. That's a decision she's going to have to make on her own.
yeah, yeah.
I can't tell you to do that. When you get tired of being tired, then you will. But I can't. I'm not gonna tell you to do that. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you to protect yourself. Yeah, I'm gonna
But,
tell you. Yeah,
Because
but
if you
those
even,
ingredients there, like we're really creating almost effortlessly, these safe spaces, right? There's something enchanting about just being seen and heard, because it's the individual. The individual is basically saying, "Yo, I just need to get this up. I just need to bring it up and
yeah,
make it real to me, right? Because it's
yes,
I can't do it. I don't
yes,
have access with it,
yes,
right? And so
yeah,
the person that's on the outside that's just listening, and this is a very key ingredient here, yo. Very key ingredient. Vulnerability is not about you. Don't make their vulnerability about you.
yeah,
We do that, okay, and we do it unconsciously because it's just the wrong response. This is our attempt at connecting.
mhm,
We don't have to do it's already done. Once you create the space for this person to dump, to pour,
yeah,
to express, to be seen, to be heard, once you create that, you're doing the
that's
Lord's
it.
work. You're doing it. It's it.
Yeah,
That's it. Don't fuck it up. So it's
yeah,
kind of like you just create it and then you just stand back. You don't have to do it, and you can poke at it a little bit, prompt it, but you're nurturing, okay? This is not about you. If it's
yeah.
really about the individual's healing process,
Mm-hmm.
you don't heal them. They are healing themselves,
Themselves. Ooh,
all right? They're doing it themselves by bringing it up, and you're just helping them make sense of their bullshit,
that's it.
right? And
That's
a
it.
lot of the time, I mean, it could be, just years and years of stuff. But the main thing is, you don't have to do it all in one session. It's up to
No.
them, So, hey, thank you for witnessing me and making me
Yeah.
seen and making me feel
Mm-hmm.
valid and celebrated. Even though you didn't
Yeah.
like woo-hoo and all that, it was
No.
enough for me to get this. So
Yeah.
now I can go out into the world. Can I do this
Yeah.
again, like in like 2 months?
Yeah. Just get it off. Just get it off. It's that when the water is boiling, the top is on. You just take the top off. That's what we're doing. Just take the top off. Yeah, get it because it's overflowing. Get it out. Get it out.
I like this question.
Ooh,
I do.
what?
This one is honestly, and it's just for me. I can recognize it very, very, very easily. Hold on, easily. There we go. It came to
Really?
me. Yeah, but I have to speak to you. I can't see it in text. I can see it on social media and stuff like that, of course, but I need to talk to you. I can notice your cadence when you speak. I can know how you speak. I pay attention to every detail, every single detail, because I see it as a movie. It's not my movie to direct. I just make the safe space for you to walk into. And if you take that bait, all I do is listen and watch. And I do little ad libs just in case you need them, so there's no dead silence, so you think you're not alone. Give you little things just to say, "Oh, I hear you. No, I got you." Man, that's wild. I'm right there. Just because you look back and look for your safety net. I'm still here. And I ain't nothing but a stranger. I'm nothing but a stranger. So I mean, I couldn't judge you because I don't know you. I don't know your circles. I don't know your parents. I don't know anybody. You know me. I know you. That's all I got. So I just create the safe space. John said it before the show. I just leave the breadcrumbs.
He keeps reminding me how we met.
Pay attention to everything because I think it's important.
Keeps reminding me how we met.
I think it's important.
Oh yeah, I got a podcast. Show him the podcast. I know that brother. He keeps reminding me how we met.
That's Deanna. That's immediately.
Oh my God.
Safe
space.
He created this safe space with his Beamer. Okay. All right. I give it up, D. I give it up. Come on, Cam. It was good for me. It was good. You really pulled me out of a place. So
that's what's up.
It was helpful for me. It's crazy that your accident was my help.
It feels good to help. It feels good to help.
Yeah.
It really does. And it just be like the little things. You know, and sometimes people don't be expecting it.
Absolutely.
I have this thing that I do at work if they're going to get lunch. I always give them extra money when they're going. And they be like, well, that's not the total. I'm like, but you're getting in your car. You're driving. You know, that's my way of saying thank you. And they just like, oh. I said, don't send it back. Keep it. That's for you. You know, it's the little things.
It's an appreciation for service. Yeah, it's an immediate appreciation for service.
An immediate appreciation.
Yeah, you reinforce the goodness. Mm-hmm. I am good, and good things happen to me. I am good, and good things. Yeah, gotta get lined up.
Yes. So it wasn't a surprise to me when I went to the gas station, and all I wanted was a cup of coffee, and she was like, "Go ahead." I said, "She's like, yeah, go ahead." Free coffee.
Shit. To be honest, for me, that's the biggest dopamine shot that I've ever gotten.
Instant karma.
And I'll be honest, I measure everything. I measure best times of my life. I stack them up. But when you can help somebody exactly how they need to be helped, without you,
isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful?
It ain't nothing better, and it's
that
free.
Feels good.
Ain't nothing better.
Thank you.
Dang, and that's a beautiful response to depression too, isn't it? Right? You see that somebody's drowning, and you help them. You help them to save themselves, and they're looking at you, but you're looking at them like, "Hey, man, but you went through that. I just gave you a hand, but you went through. Whoa, you okay? Almost died there. I mean, if it wasn't for, but you're strong." Encouraging them still, like, hey, you're still pretty strong. You're strong.
Yeah.
I just held my hand up, but you're pretty strong. You should probably get this up.
Pull yourself out of that. To find a way to combat the ruminating thoughts, to be able to forgive yourself and everyone involved, to let go, and to let it come up. That book, Let Go, let it come up and let it go. I try to keep that in mind. If I feel something, okay, don't try to determine what it is. Just let it come up, because it's not going to stay very long. And it's going to leave just as quick as it came. And then you can move forward. Oh my God. Yeah.
But fear, right? Fear. Fear gets in the way, ego gets in the way.
Man, that's lower frequency. When you realize you're operating on a lower frequency,
Yeah, but when you win it, you win it, right? Like it's like what's the reference? What do you in it?
when you in it, it's thick.
You gotta have a reference.
It's like being in a tornado, just constant. You just like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Yeah,
yeah. For me, it feel like being in the water, and when that person extends their arm out, it just shows me that shore is still there. It's still there.
Yeah.
I had the water in my eyes, so I came up. Even though I'm above water now, my eyes are still closed. So when you reach your hand out, it's still laying there, because shit, before I opened my eyes, I didn't think it was anything around me. I think I'm in the middle of the ocean.
Thank you, Maggie.
I love that helping hand.
It's in the right hand corner.
Yep.
I noticed that. I was like, I peeped that earlier. I was like, that's what's up. Thank you. It's like so everybody comments is just gonna come up right there. Thank you.
So how much of depression is actually just a sane response to a broken world?
Then everybody depressed.
Yeah, no way.
Everybody that's broke depressed. Well, I'm gonna say broke, but
That's
you got
true.
the haves and have not, and if you ain't got it right, you just like, damn.
For some reason, I feel like that's a part of life. I see the beauty in it. Because don't nothing feel better than conquering that depression. Just able to look back and see how far I've come. That's dope to me. I don't know. I like to watch my own movie.
I like that. I like that response from Maggie. It's the same response to an abnormal situation. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Get it, girl. Thank you for joining us tonight. I hope you're having a good week so far. So, yeah. John?
Well, how much of it is... Well, first off, we're talking about 8%. 8% of the American population experiencing at least one major depressive episode.
Oof.
So you think about that, it's like 1 in 5 Americans, right? It's like 20 million people, 1 in 5 Americans, you're going to experience this. Partly because maybe it's in your genetics, partly because your zip code.
True.
Wow. Yeah.
And you think about the environment and it's like, well, does it have to be this way? That's the question, right? That's the big one. Does it have to be this way? And, you realize, you have average intelligence enough to conclude that, yeah, it doesn't have to be this way. It's just there are actual human beings that live here that are making these decisions with legislation to design this system, from a virtual standpoint, a cognitive psychological standpoint, and from a structural standpoint. You look around like, this is really well engineered. And the people that are experiencing depression, even though they're told, stigmatized, you shouldn't be, you ain't got time for depression. Wait, we got shit to do. Come on, get this money.
Like, you ain't got time to be depressed.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, being sad, here that is in your face. And, it's this warning light. And it's coming on because you're working 50 hours a week. You're seeing the injustice everywhere, but you feel powerless to change it. It's big pharma out here profiting off of your pain. Chemical imbalances, that's what they call it, right?
Yeah.
It's like you're naturally responding to your environment, but they're exploiting your natural response to the environment and giving you a condition, a label, and they're calling it that as if you picked it up on your own, like it was your fault.
Mm-hmm.
The gaslighting is just crazy there, right? And
They
and
want
you
you
have
walking around smiling while a house is burning.
mm,
Oh, look at the pretty flames.
so even in a broken world, depression, distorts, it lies to you, it steals your motivation. It makes you feel like change is impossible. Um, and then, yeah, the biological reality is that some people are just wired for that shit, earlier traumas, passed on from family generations and just never got therapy, never got it resolved, never healed, never asked for forgiveness, all that. Um, but there is a rational and a malfunctioning response here. Um, but there's a difference between I feel hopeless because everything is going to blank, that's your sanity, and I feel hopeless because my brain won't let me see another option. Like, that's the difference there.
Mm.
This can be changed, but this right here, ooh, that's a different kind of problem. That's deeply rooted. So yeah, the environment influences a lot of this, and depressed people who are oppressed people, depressed people not having the energy, the valor, the courage to change their environment. It's like you got a whole bunch of drug addicts out here. A whole county of just drug addicts, and they're functioning drug addicts. That whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Next question. Sorry about that. Can anger be an antidote to depression? What if rage is the healthy response? Now, I'm bringing this up because if we're acknowledging that your city, the structure of your city, how it's organized, its institutions, can bring on the onset of depression in its citizens, why wouldn't you be upset about that? You hired these people to safeguard, to promote your health, your life, your quality of life, and they're doing the opposite. So if you go to a restaurant and you say, hey, let me go ahead and get that pasta real quick, and they come back with churros, you could just fuck this, right? And it's food, but it's like, yo, this already cost $19. I didn't want to pay the $19, so I'm upset about this. You couldn't even get this part. You're right. That we could get upset about. Why wouldn't you get upset about the potential demise of you and your family? Like right there in your face, right there in your face, right? You don't want to get, but rage, however, let me bring it back. Rage needs strategy. You can't just be mad. I mean, that's easy. It's easy to get mad. But what are you doing with that madness? You got to use that as fuel for the change. Fuel for hey, this cannot be this anymore. Right? That energy, which counters the depression. That energy, which counters the depression. Like, you can't be depressed and like angry at this. Woo! What? Like, you at the same time, like, man, all right, make up your mind, bro.
You right. You can't.
So I just wonder, like, if we were mad enough, because I think about our predecessors, all the marches. Who had time for depression? Oh no, we getting out here and we finna some shit up.
Yeah.
I'm mad, and we going downtown. We finna show these who we are. We gonna march with our picket signs. And you mad?
Isn't that what? I can't think of his name. The guy in Cincinnati. He let that. Yeah. I'm gonna just leave that there.
Yeah.
What y'all think? Can anger be an antidote to depression?
Yeah, just like you said, depending on the circumstance. Yeah, because I think if it's internally, you ain't got nobody to be mad at but yourself. So probably get over that as fast as you can and become your ally, so you can maybe get through this. Because just getting mad at yourself does absolutely nothing, and the only person that knows you are angry are you.
Mm, yeah.
And to be honest, I've always felt like don't nobody care.
Mm.
Don't nobody care. You gotta keep going. Wouldn't matter if somebody cared or not. You still gotta keep going. And I understand now. It's not quite the right response. I get it.
Mhm.
I'm learning. Like I said, I'm learning. But yeah, I think it just depends. But a healthy rage is definitely those picket signs, because I know for damn sure I'm a front soldier. I don't care if I got to die on the front line just for the good people to make it to the other side. I mean, I did something. That's all I got.
King?
I see the plot twist there, but for me personally, my personal walk in life, a haircut go a long way, bro.
You sure right.
A haircut go a long way, and I'm be the first to say I saved a lot of relationships just from a haircut. I promise you.
Mm.
And I'm never gonna say I'm qualified to be anybody's counselor, but you'd be surprised. Man, feel like new money. He feel purposeful after he get a haircut. You know, he feel acknowledged, appreciated. You know,
Dignified.
Yeah.
definitely that. Um, I'm gonna say feeling important. You know,
Ooh, that part. Feeling important.
yeah,
Yeah,
for real,
that's
for
a
real.
good part. Yeah.
I'm gonna be the first to say it. Sometimes, well, no, let me say it like this. Again, because of the podcast, and
Even if he's your friend.
because of the podcast and learning depression and seeing some of the signs, I was a whole therapist, counselor, mentor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking on hats I ain't know nothing about, but I was allowing that space for brothers to vent to me, because you gotta understand, as a barber or natural hairstylist, whatever, we standing over somebody's crown, man. And you kind of have to have just a little bit of clarity for yourself. So even when asked about depression, because during that a portion of that time, I used to drink heavy, like super heavy, and I was just masking my emotions and my feelings and the stuff I was going through. But to have somebody sit in that chair and they tell you something, I look in the mirror and be like, "Fuck you tripping off of." Nah, this person right here, they got, man, look, they going through. So haircut go a long way. And I don't ever want to see nobody do the rage thing to combat depression, because some of us don't have an off switch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I just respond to what Maggie just wrote? I'm sorry, because it just hit me. I have always wanted to see programs in school that have strong male teaching young men how to be men. And what it's also going to do is it's going to repel the ones that are not there for the right reasons.
Yep.
Because real men are a threat to anything less than. And that would be a
Why
damn
it won't be
good
in
idea.
the school. That's why it will never be in the school. It'll never be there. It's like it's more money in the patient than an upstanding person. No. We need just patience. That would kill the machine that they so delicately put together. So no, that'll never be that. As soon as they see that, they get that teacher up out of there.
Yeah. I applaud you, Maggie. I'm a nurse, and the one thing I know is I cannot do children because I will be ready to fight those parents. So what you're doing, hey, keep it up. Because I give me the old people in wheelchairs, because the kids, oh damn, just have physically with kids.
So
Oh
yeah,
wow. Mm, mm, mm.
it's opened a lot of doors for me. So yeah, it's a good thing.
Okay. Therapy and meds aren't magic fixes. So what actually helps when you're deep in depression? Actually, that's the start. That is that's the start. Therapy and meds is the start on how to get out of it. And then you can slowly wean yourself off. But you have to have tools in your toolbox. And when we say tools in your toolbox, you have to have if I'm ruminating, you have to be able to stop yourself and ask yourself questions. Okay, how is this helping me? How can I change that? Sometimes you have to realize you can't go back and change what has happened, and you have to actually make peace with it. Yeah. So when you're in therapy, get it out. Get all of it out. Let everything come up and get it out. Man, unburden yourself. Yeah, you gotta unburden yourself. Don't hold that shit in, because it'll make you sick. It will definitely make you sick. So yeah, it'll keep you sick, because hell, if you're in deep depression, you're sick. But if you don't get it up and get it out and talk about what's really bothering you, because it's layers, especially the older that you get, the more things that you have been through, experience. And I used to feel like I was, what is the name of that watch that takes a hit and keeps on ticking? I can't, y'all don't remember that? I didn't told my age.
Timex.
Thank you. Takes a hit and that used to be me until I hit a brick wall. And then I turned around and all that shit that I ran from. Yeah, hit me. Yeah, it will hit you. Yeah, some things will stop you dead in your tracks, only to have you turn around and look back at all the rest of the shit you avoided. I ain't gonna say avoided, but ran away from. So yeah, but that's me. That's me.
I'll make mine short and sweet. Therapy and meds. Or maybe I always count myself as lucky.
My
But
fault, Sherman. God level. Yeah, it's it takes a licking and keeps on ticking.
oh, gotcha.
Okay.
Well,
He had to go look it up. Thank you so much.
I ain't mad at it.
I was tripping off the quote. I didn't want to mess the quote up. But I know it was Timex though. I just don't want to mess the
Takes
quote
a
up.
licking and keeps on ticking. Oh God.
That's crazy. Keep mine. I like that. Like I said, I'm gonna keep mine pretty sweet. I think I got lucky to bypass the therapy and meds. And I got damn good male role models. And I always
Yes.
wanted to bounce that against something. Always wanted to. And then I was at a party. Actually, it was a wedding, and I got to meet a therapist. I got to meet a man therapist and a woman therapist. That was fantastic. Never would have thought I'd see that at the same spot, but I talked to both of them, and they both looked at me and told me I was okay. You got it. Just keep taking your steps forward, and I think you'll hit what you need to hit.
Oh, absolutely.
I got
You
it
got
from
it.
both. I mean, and I don't know how good a therapist they are, because anybody can be crazy. Therapists come in all shapes and sizes and forms, from what I hear. But they were good people in my
Okay.
eyes. Had good families. Seemed like they held true to their values. morality, checked off in my eyes. And they seemed happy, both of them.
Okay.
So I believe the words. So I got really lucky, and then I fell into a trap. I'm still winning.
We are winning.
Mm.
It's winning. Okay.
All right. I know we're getting towards the end, so I'm gonna go ahead and just shoot off a few hacks, a few tips. Right. This is about responding. All right. When depending on the degree and severity of your depression, you got to remember you're typically in survival mode. Like,
man,
you're getting close to unaliving, right?
Yeah.
So survival is very key. So there's just a few tricks, tips out there, and then even just obligations, right? Regular daily activities. Protein and B12, right? Eggs and salmon, hard-boiled egg, handful of nuts. This can stabilize your mood much more than a salad can. All right. Depression depletes your neurotransmitters. Okay. Then you got to have some social activity, and you have this strong tendency to isolate. So if you set up the language right, there's something called silent co-presence. Ivy, I hope I got that right. There's two of them that I'm going to think of. This one's one of them. Silent co-presence. So I'm going to sit with you. You do your thing. I'm going to do my thing. Let's not force a conversation. I just need you here. Okay. Silent co-presence. Just human interaction. All right. Without actually interacting. Texting. Oh, man. Voice to text, yo. Don't text. Voice to text. Or leave a voice message, because now we can send voice messages through the right.
Yeah.
Don't text. Conserve your energy. All right. And then there's like passive, social contact. Do a Zoom, do a Twitch, a yoga class online. Kind of get that human interaction. See another human. The thing about depression is you want to withdraw from the world. You want to withdraw from human contact. You want to go within. Have a little bit of contact. It will anchor you here, right? Hygiene. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Fuck it, hygiene is allowed, okay? Fuck it, hygiene is, all right, I'm not going to take a shower. I'm just going to, baby wipe it down. I can't brush my teeth, so I'm going to swig some mouthwash. All right, this is about survival. This is survival, okay? And then you can feed the squirrel brain. Ivy's got the hamsters, so she probably feeds the hamsters. You're watching like 10-second, 20-second clips on TikTok just to get that dopamine, right? Because again, depression is right. Right. And then external accountability. Like if you got to get things done, right? But you're not motivated. Sometimes just having that accountability partner. Hey, yo, can I pay you $20 to body double me? What the fuck is that? I just need you to look at me while I do this, right? I ain't gonna front. My stepson, man. My stepson, man. He don't do it a whole lot, but sometimes with us, he was like, John, can you sit here with me and watch me? Oh, man, all right, man. I want to get this done, right? They have the motivation to get it done, but just seeing another set of eyes, that again, this is social, right? We perform when we're being observed. And we care about our image, and there's certain values. I'm forgiving, or I'm hardworking, I'm industrious, I'm creative. We still need people to witness that. Yeah. And so body doubling, being present without saying shit, without judging, just you there, just witnessing, that can be a lot for somebody with depression. And that's the high functioning part. If is. This thing is got you down. It's got all this gravity. But just somebody shining some light on you with their eyes, not saying nothing, is enough to motivate you to keep going.
Yeah. Yeah.
Supporters, support your supporters. Support your supporters.
Oh, thank you, Maggie. I don't have anything else to add. I really don't. Tonight was great. This was good.
As always.
Does anybody have anything they want to add tonight before we jump off of here?
Hugs are important.
I was told I give really good hugs. I give really good hugs. Like I'm a squeezer. I'm gonna squeeze you real good. Yeah.
Would it be too challenging to ask, hey, do you think or do you believe in giving a contingency plan to your circle, to your tribe? Hey, if I'm depressed, do this.
Yeah. Ivy's done it with me. It's an emoji. So if I send you this, hey, I need to talk.
Yeah, it's like an SOS, right?
I'm gonna put in the group chat anybody available. Then I'm gonna go from there. So yeah.
You know what though?
I usually bum rush.
You know what? That could be something though. Just like you randomly text maybe tomorrow to your friends, people in your group. You know, just key players. Not everybody. Key players.
Because everybody.
Hey, if I ever send this emoji, yo, it's an emergency. I just say 10-4 and then keep it rolling.
10-4. Really?
That's how you know you got some soldiers in your circle. That's how you know. That's how you gonna know. Because I mean, you know, I'm thinking like Sherman here. You know, you got to set it up. You know, like, all right, how do I know if I can rely on you? A real soldier gonna be like, aye, Captain, say less already.
That's it.
Oh,
that's what you want. You want that in your circle.
Yes.
But if it's on some, what? They give you some, okay, you ain't the one. All right, thank you.
Yeah. Like
you ain't the one.
I don't have anybody outside of you all that I would do that with. I keep my circle. It's so small. It's very small, and I like it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, but if you love your life, invest in some good friends. Keep investing, yo.
Man, please.
You can have all that money, but if nobody don't give a damn about you, you just gonna be the dude that had the money.
Thank you, Maggie. So yeah,
I got all this money, but shoot, all right, you keep fucking around, it's gonna be the state's money.
Yes, ma'am, I will. My number, I'm gonna have to send you my number. I want to thank everyone for jumping in on tonight's live. I want to thank Maggie for all of her comments. I want to thank everybody who dropped a comment. I seen Nancy on here too earlier. I seen Wifey on here too as well. Thank you for all the love. Please do not forget to go over to God Level 102 on YouTube and subscribe to our channel. We will be officially leaving Facebook this year. So yeah, go ahead and put that up. God Level 102. Subscribe to our channel over there on YouTube. Things people don't want to talk about because we're leaving. And again, please, and stay safe out there. If you're going through something right now, pull somebody to the side.
Dopamine.
There it is.
You see? Yeah, audience. You see how that works? Dopamine. This helped a lot. Yeah, dopamine. There you go. Just spiked up.
I was just trying. Oh my God. Do what John just said.
There you go. There you go.
More important.
Go ahead.
Absolutely.
You got something?
I'm just saying hugs are important. That's all.
The hugs are important. It's the best drug. The best drug. Maggie, okay, no.
Mm.
Yes.
I'm saying you ain't gotta ask no questions with a hug.
Mm.
Nope.
No, just smell good when you do it.
I definitely got that.
You know what?
Absolutely.
Sherman is in love. Yeah. I'm gonna see y'all back here next week. John, you got me.